Good morning, Matt Delacruz here with the Winning Minds. We're part of the John Maxwell team, and welcome to Mondays with Matt. Happy Monday to you. Hope you had a great weekend. Looking forward to another extraordinary week this week as we kick off a new day, a new week, and a new season. So that's exciting. And by the way, happy Mother's Day to you mothers that are out there. To me, every day is a Mother's Day. And I hope that you were pampered and you got to spend some good quality time with your family. And your family took care of you this past weekend, which we should do every single day as far as I'm concerned. I wanted to start off by answering an email that I received this past week, and it was a great question. The question was, Matt, how do you plan and pick the theme and the topic that you're going to talk about every week on your Mondays with Matt? And that's a good question. Most of the time, I never do think about it. In fact, it usually will just come into me. Every once in a while, I might share the theme from an idea that I'm using with a coaching client that I'm coaching, or someone that I'm adding value to or speaking to, where all of a sudden I said, that's a good theme. I want to talk about that this week. But the majority of the time, I just play the receiver and wait for the transmission from God to say, here's what I want you to talk about this week. And this is the message. And so that's usually where it comes from. And if you watch my videos, you'll know I don't edit it. I don't take a bunch of takes, and it's from the heart. To me, if you're going to shoot a message out, especially video, shoot from the heart, right? Let it come from the heart. Let people feel it. And that's really what today's topic is. One of my coaches and teachers, Paul Martinelli, he said that, Matt, when you ask yourself intelligent questions, you'll always find intelligent answers. See, the way that the mind works is we're always asking ourselves the questions from the minute we wake up to the minute we go to bed, and we'll always find the answers to the questions. But if you start asking yourself average or dumb questions, believe it or not, we all find dumb, stupid answers. Guilty, guilty, guilty. We all go through that. And that's why we get stuck in what we call the negative pattern, because the negative thoughts, negative thinking gets into that pattern. And now we start dwelling in it. We start living in it. But when you ask yourself good, positive questions, that puts you in what we call the positive pattern. In other words, you're thinking positive, and everything that you're doing is in a positive state. So I love this quote. It says, stop asking, why am I always stuck in this situation? And start asking, what do I need to learn from the situation? So it's all about the questions that we ask. So it's not, I can't do this. The question is how can I do it? When you ask yourself the question, how can I do it? You'll find the answer and the solution on how to do it. Because again, what you put out, you get back in. You'll always find an answer to every question that you ask if you're asking yourself the question. So the key of it is how do we train, discipline, and condition the mind to ask ourselves the good questions, the intelligent questions, to where all of a sudden now we receive the intelligent and the good answers, and that moves us in the direction that we're going into. And as we get the positive results, then all of a sudden we remain in that positive pattern of positive thinking. And that's where it all starts. So again, you can think any way you want to think, but the most important part is ask yourself intelligent questions. This week, here's what I want you to do. I want you to test yourself and look at how you ask yourself questions and look at the answers that you come up with. But then I want you to go into the part and saying, but is it possible? Because possibility thinking will always trump realistic thinking. Realistic thinking, again, is historic, it's past experience thinking, and that's why you come up with the answers. So the question is not, is it realistic? The question is it possible? Because every time you ask yourself the question, is it possible? The answer will be 100% of the time, yes. Is it possible to make $1 million in one day? Yes. Is it possible? But most people live on the realistic side because we're not asking ourselves the positive questions. When you ask yourself the positive questions, intelligent questions, you find the intelligent answers, and I'll guarantee you it'll start prompting you and springboarding you on to whatever your goals are. So let's think about it this week. Ask ourselves intelligent questions, find the intelligent answers. Let's avoid the negative patterns by asking ourselves dumb questions, because we will get the dumb answers. So let's do that this week. So until next week, live with passion, live intentionally, but let's go out there and start asking ourselves intelligent questions because we're intelligent people. Thanks so much. Make it a great day, and we'll talk to you next week. Whatever